Look.
And some.
Right? Rapid rounds down the range. Accurate fire in a tight group. Right, bringing the weapon up to your eyes. If somebody's in my house, I hear an intruder, I'm going directly to them because I don't want them getting to my family members. And guess what? That laser's there. If he pops up around the corner, still able to deal with the threat just as quickly if I was here locked in on that red dot.
Yeah, man, I'm a firm believer in just protecting myself because I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I know it sounds like a cliche.
No.
But it's the truth.
I use it all the time.
It's really the truth. In other moment, it's like anyone can have a gun, right?
Yeah, so we have what we call a constitutional carry law in Oklahoma. Okay. So as long as you're a law-abiding citizen over the age of 21 or military, either good current standing or on due discharge, you can carry a pistol.
Carry a pistol. So I want to segue into this because one thing you also teach is law enforcement.
Absolutely.
I want to touch on car stops.
Yes, huge.
We're going to go back to the Constitution for a minute, just for a brief minute. I'm going to read y'all a little excerpt here. The right of the people, which by the way, this is the 4th Amendment, the right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue. But upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Now, oftentimes I'll be on the internet or like social media where you'll have someone just talk about, hey, when you get pulled over, you do so-and-so, whoop-de-whoop. Now, my personal experiences, just as a black man, I've been pulled over several times. I've only been searched. I had my car searched once, and I was with someone who had their car searched. I was young at the time. I don't know the law, but I've always been respectful of police officers. Particularly, I was taught to be respectful to anyone who's wearing a uniform. Yeah. So it don't matter if it's, especially of authority. So even if it don't matter if it's a McDonald's uniform, a basketball uniform, a uniform civilian obligation. Nothing happened. I was nervous when it happened. My whole experience with that, I was completely nervous. I was like, oh my God, these guys are opening my car, man. I don't do nothing that's illegal. They cut me loose and it was over with. I was mad nervous.
Oh yeah, I know it.
So, what advice do you have to give to people that's out there, these car stops? At what point is a car search legal?
That's a great question.
When does that become a valid thing?
So I always say it's probable cause, not probably the cause, right? Yeah. If you're riding on the right side of the law, you gotta have good PC. You gotta have good probable cause. So, a couple things there. Number one, one of the larger ones that we see throughout time, pay attention, is the smell or the odor of marijuana. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's huge in Oklahoma because you have your ability to have a legal medical marijuana card. But if I smell the odor of marijuana, burnt marijuana coming from the vehicle, you just open yourself up because it's just like a DUI. Okay. Right? So you're driving while impaired. Okay, at that point, let's say I effect an arrest. I can then tow your vehicle, right? At that point, I'm able to inventory what's in the car. Okay, and that inventory list basically states cell phones left here, the keys left here. Now I'm inventorying your car, and I find a gun under your seat that you didn't tell me about. Oh. So not only are you got the marijuana DUI, now you're carrying an unlawful weapon. See what I mean there? Yeah. And that's usually how that goes. But I want to just reiterate, and again, I'm not an attorney, but
yes,
I'm not an attorney at all.
Yes,
but again, you have the right to deny that search. Okay. If there's no PC, he's saying, hey, you're free to leave, but hey, you mind if I search your vehicle? At that point, he said exactly that. Listen to it. You're free to go. But now, I want to detain you again for my own cause, which is me searching the car. You don't have to do that. The probable cause gets us into the vehicle. Mm-hmm. If there's other things in the vehicle, such as illegal drugs, firearms, or paraphernalia, that opens up the scope of my search of that car. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. At the same notion, if you're a driver and you got a passenger, okay, and he's going to jail for warrants or whatever, I'm able to search incident to arrest his area only. Where the law states his arm reach. Okay? So that can go to a back seat possibly or under his seat, but it ain't gonna go over to your side where you are. See what I mean? That's out of the scope of the search. So all in all,
but if something's found, it's still gonna be some hot water though.
Yeah, if something's found at that point, yes. So let's say I go to his side of the car, I arrest him for a warrant, I find a meth pipe. That just opens the scope for the whole car.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying there? If I find nothing, then I have to get permission. Okay, what we do on our side also, just to cover ourselves, is we'll do a search waiver. And we'll say, hey, you giving us the right to search your vehicle, or you give us the right to search your home. Yes, I am, without a warrant, because obviously we would have to obtain one to go without to go into that search further without your permission. I would have to obtain a warrant, because you're saying no. That means I got to go do my due diligence to see if the judge sees probable cause for me to enter that vehicle or enter your home. So if you sign that search waiver, you're basically saying I'm good. You can go ahead and search it, or you give me verbal consent. Either one. But I typically right on the side of let's keep it all the way 100 around, all the way around. So all in all, especially if you're planning to carry a firearm, especially if you have you met a marijuana card, that card that states that you're allowed to possess it as your prescription or your medication, but that still opens up the ability for us to have PC for the vehicle, especially if we smoke burnt marijuana. That's huge. Stop smoking.
Don't be going. Look, I stop going once and driving. Okay.
I'm telling you, I don't know. Since y'all was 17, stop.
Yeah, just stop. You know what I mean? Just wait till you get home. You know what I'm saying?
It's legal. Do what you need to do.
Just definitely, because I can see how that could snowball into something else. Because you're doing one small thing, but you might be doing 3 other things and just that's illegal, and you not even realize.
What do you say? Sell dope, braid hair.
Just saying, it may be exactly. But I've noticed that people get charged with one thing. They'll be, but when you hear it, when they talk about it on the news, you hear about a crime take place or just anything taking place. Yeah. But when you hear about the actual charges that are going on, man, this would be a whole list of things on there.
Because something has opened up the scope, whether it be the inventory of the vehicle, or some people give consent and they say, they ain't gonna find it, right? That's what these guys are trying to do, is find stuff. So again, if it's your legal right to deny a search if you don't want to, but understand the things you may be doing may open that scope regardless, because there's already enough probable cause for me to search the rest of that vehicle. Probable cause is to me acting in good faith that I have enough evidence to say that there's probably more to this than what I'm seeing at this point. And obviously that paraphernalia or that PC shows me that. Right? It's like, okay, well, if there's a meth pipe, there's got to be meth somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that just kind of opens it up. Okay? When it comes to firearms and the interaction with law enforcement, you are within your legal right to carry a firearm. Right? You can have it on your person, you can have it in your vehicle, loaded or unloaded. Okay? At any time. So when stopped, the law just kind of shifted last year where it said if we don't ask you about it, you don't have to say anything. But to me, that's silly. Just tell them, hey, I got a gun in the car, it's under my seat, it's in my bag, it's in my glove box. Simple as that. A couple things are going to occur. He's going to tell you to step out, right? Or you retrieve the gun. Why is he looking at the gun? Most likely he's looking to see the serial number, make sure it's not stolen, so on and so forth. We never want to pass an officer a gun. That's just stupid, right? That's just open ourselves up for some possible bad actions, right? So I'll exit the vehicle. I'll let them know where it's at. If they want to retrieve it, I confirm that to make sure it's on the body cam. You are going to retrieve it? Yes. What does that mean? I know that you're going to enter my car. And now that's documented that you're entering my car. So when he does that, he's retrieving that firearm only. Okay? If he goes further than that, or if he sees something in plain view.
Plain view.
There we go.
That's a given.
Yeah, given. If you see something in plain view,
that's obviously it's going to turn into
it's going to turn into a whole search. But if it's just a gun, that's his scope. If he goes outside the scope, it's a violation of the 4th legal search and seizure. You can't do that. But remember that if you do get pulled over, 10 and 2, okay, roll the window down, no attitude needed. Hey, officer, I got a gun in the car. Where's it at? Under the seat, in the glove box, whatever. Cool.
Some officers will tell you don't touch it, and they'll do, go along with the process. Some may tell you to step out. Okay. With that being said, just because you have an ID doesn't mean you can't have a gun.
Yeah.
Right. That just means you're driving without a license.
Right.
So that opens up a different scope.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't say doesn't mean you can't have a firearm if you're within your legal right.
Okay. So yeah, so that I see how these things snowball into.
Absolutely,
man.
But it's always good to have an officer who, and this is what I always harp to my guys: know the law, because on either side of it, if tested, you can say, "Hey, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing." Mm-hmm. When I was a kid and I got pulled over, I could not stand when I said, "Officer, what did I do wrong?" And they just didn't say nothing. They kept going on with their job. I'm like, just tell me what did I do? You know what I mean? And I always do. Hey, my name is Corporal Latif Whitsett. Reason why I stopped you, you ran that stop sign back there. You got your ID with you? Right there, it just goes, oh yeah, you got me on that one.
Yeah.
It's simple. Instead of playing the secret doctor, guess who?
Yeah. And you know what? I've seen that. And I've seen you've seen the viral videos of, straight up, man. Some cops are just acting they doing what they're not supposed to be doing, man. Just straight up.
That's the problem.
And think about it, it's just people.
Yeah.
Because in every realm, in every industry, you got people that do what they're supposed to, people that not going to.
Absolutely.
I'm highly optimistic. I believe that law enforcement is here to help.
Absolutely.
But you have those that take advantage of that. And you see a big, like you said, Johnny Bravo, man, chest out. Where you going?
Yeah.
Hey, how do you expect someone to react?
Exactly.
And it's like they can. It's like they're not just saying, but it's like someone they feel that they can be one way. Like I can be divisive, or I can be. I can just be an asshole to someone, putting out bad energy towards someone.
Absolutely.
You can't expect them to be all hunky dory and just be all smiles on all my cards.
Not gonna happen.
You know what I mean?
I always tell people being law enforcement is like comparing, like going to Walmart and seeing somebody pick out a shirt or something, and then here you are going, "Hey, put that down."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I go up to that person and go, "Hey, I don't think that one's going to be the right one for you," they might go, "You sure?" Like, yeah, that ain't it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The reaction's different. Mm-hmm. Right? And if law enforcement, not all, if they can change the way they talk to people straight off Jump Street, it makes life a little bit easier all the way around. Now, you're going to get somebody with an attitude. You just pull them over, you interject into their day. They got things to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You may get yelled at every now and then, but I still, to this day, I don't even let that bother me. That's not my job, is let it bother me. Let it roll off, do what I need to do. Hey, listen, see you later. You know what I mean? I'm here to find criminals. I'm not here to write tickets. Yeah. I'll never forget, and if you see this, because you're up north, these two girls, they were both mad as can be at each other. The tire got flat. Yeah. And so they're yelling back and forth, and I'm like, hey, let me help you out. And then, we don't mess with the police. And I was like, listen, I just trying to help you out. We change the tire. You guys want to drop you off somewhere, what you need. Yeah. And then, we don't mess with y'all. Boom, boom. And I'm like, you know what? I'm out.
Hey, you know what?
And they saw me walking away, and they're both standing there looking at me like, he just gonna leave us there? And I'm like, hey, if you ever want to help.
Was there help, man? Just gonna get your story, your career, how you got started in Tulsa County, teaching gun safety.
Oh yeah.
Man, but I'm curious about something. I watched the internet. I see this brother Dale Brown.
Yeah.
Man, I seen him. If a guy's ever having a gun pointed at you,
oh my gosh,
I'm like, man, what do you recommend someone puts a gun?
Give it up. Give it up. Like, if you got the drop on me, here's what you need, bro.
Man.
Your wallet, here's the keys, here's my shoes, whatever you need. Because at that point, okay, I don't want to escalate a situation that I'm already, there's no winning.
Yeah.
Right. All I'm going to do is escalate it by trying to do all this Jeet Kune Do, Hondo rolls.
And he makes it look like you could do that, though.
Yeah.
Like I was like, man, you know what? I would never try that, but I feel like I could do that.
Yeah.
But I'm headstrong. I'm not stupid enough to tell you. Hey, look, I ever point a gun at my whatever, man.
I'm right there with you. No matter how many hours of training I have, if somebody gets the drop on you, right, or somebody, their actions can beat your reaction any day of the week. Yeah. There is no way. Give it up. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, this is triple.
That's all it is.
That's all it is, man.
And get on him for thinking it may work, and maybe. I always say, and I think a lot of people will understand this, it's like martial arts, right? Or boxing. You can box all you want to. You can shadow box all you want to. Mm-hmm. But until somebody else is punching at you,
right? Or you're sparring.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're really going to do. Your real reaction, your raw reaction. You can practice that slow stuff all day long until one of them steppers come up, and then you are like,
you already thought about it. It's already too late.
It's too late.
It's too late already.
So good on him. Like I said, for trying to. Obviously, as a business, I was working, and social media's blowing up. But man,
yeah, I've seen that, man.
I just can't. I can't do it.
You know, maybe he can do. Maybe he can do that. I'm not saying it can't be done. You know what I mean? But it's nothing I would even.
I think of Bruce Leroy anytime I see.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, but open invitation, brother. If you're in the Tulsa area, and you want to come down to Snake Creek and show me some of those moves, I am 100% inviting you to come down and let's get it. I'll give you some firearms pointers. You can give me and my boy over here some kung fu moves, and so we'll see if it works. Put it to the test.
Test it out, man.
Yeah.
Practice only.
Yeah.
Again, this is only opinions.
Yeah.
It's opinions of Big Wayne 918. This is his own opinions. I strongly advise definitely take the class.
Yes.
Don't just get out there and think you James Bond or somebody.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
You're never going to rise to the occasion. You always fall to your level of training. That's always how it is. In addition, do your homework on your instructors. That's one of the biggest things for me. Was when I started looking for classes, I looked up the bio, read who this person was about, kind of called around to see if other people were taking that class, to see what kind of style this guy is, and then moved on to that class, or just said, you know what, I'll find something else, because you really want to have this engagement. This is what it should be like. Shouldn't be that monologue, that monotone, womp, or an instructor that's trying to push you through a class to get money. Find somebody who has a passion for what you're looking for, a passion for teaching and that discipline. That way you're getting real context and real skill set, and then also making sure that he gives you or she gives you something to go home with. Meaning, hey, take this skill set, practice these skills. It will make you better. And that's what we do.
Okay. Last thing I just want to touch on, being that it is Black History Month, kind of closing out Black History Month on kind of a somber note. It's the 10-year anniversary of Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
Okay. It's really a list of names. Trayvon Martin's not the only one.
Right.
Terrence Crutcher. Those are just a few names. There's a whole list of them. But Trayvon is just one that's just kind of sticking with, probably because it's the 10-year. That's probably just why it's known. Yeah. And of course, George Floyd of recent.
Yep.
Do you feel like relationships are getting better as far as like just the Black community and law enforcement?
So I'm going to say, from my perspective, and to go back to Trayvon Martin real quick, the lack of empathy scares me with certain people. And what I mean by that is they get themselves in situations and put themselves in these situations where if they were just left alone, things would have worked out for the better, meaning people would be alive. They interject themselves in situations. Look what happened with the brother who was running, and it was the 3 guys stopped, and now they're being charged federally with hate crimes.
Yes.
If people would just leave it alone, communicate, talk, things would work out a lot better. But people don't want to do that. People think Johnny Bravo's, they want to put a cape on. You're not saving nobody. You're only doing harm. That even trickles over to the law enforcement aspect. When mistakes are made and people are killed, it's because the perception in their head is that I got this. What it really boils down to, that I've seen, is a lack of training and lack of empathy at times. We got to understand that they are people. That's the one thing I take from Jersey, is that I grew up in a melting pot. Mm-hmm. And it was every race you could think of. We ate each other's culture, foods, whether it be Hindu, Indian, South African, Nigerian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, it doesn't matter. We all had this melting pot. And I think that's kind of a lost thing in some places, that culture, to where you treat everybody with respect. Let people, if they're going to muddy the waters by their behavior and their attitudes and their perceptions, that's on them.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm going to give you a chance first, and that's how it is for me in law enforcement. We've got to get over in my profession, not everybody, but there's some out there that don't feel like they need to train. I had an instructor tell me one time, he says, you know that you're going to get punched in the face, possibly in law enforcement. How many of you guys are trained at the gym? 2 guys raised their hand out of 50. You guys know that you're going to possibly get into a shooting. And those bullets that you're shooting have to be accurate because you can't hit a distance. There's no, acceptable casualty rate in law enforcement. This isn't the military. So he says, how many of you guys are getting out there and dry firing with your gun or trading and shooting at the range? Minimal. So we know where the issues are, mental health, right? How many guys are getting trained in mental health? Minimal. So we know where the issues lie. We have to fix them. And it's not just relying on the department to do it. You got to do it yourself. If you really want to be the top cop, you really want to have it be a well-rounded individual and also a well-rounded cop, you got to do the work yourself. You can't just blame the department and say, well, they didn't give me that training. Oh, I made a mistake and pulled my gun instead of my taser because I thought it was my gun. How?
There's no...
I can tell you what, it's the lack of training. If you get in this profession, in my opinion, I think you should strive for perfection. And I mean that in every aspect of who you are, because you've got not only other younger cops looking up to you, but you got these kids out there looking at you going, they may not want to be a cop, but maybe they want to be better in general. So they see a black young cop or white or female or whatever, LGBTQ, whatever officer, and they're going, damn, I want to be like that. We need more of that.
I can do it. It's something I can do.
I can obtain. And then when they hear the story, they're like, well, you going to do all that too?
You know, that makes a lot of sense. You really need to see someone of every group. You know, it shouldn't just be one group, one population of people. Really, just in anything. Really in general, but especially in law enforcement. And I dig what you're saying on the whole empathy tip, man, because it does seem like, well, first of all, I rarely see, I haven't seen any, I've rarely noticed a case where city department, such as law enforcement, police departments came forward and said, look here, we make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? We fucked this up. It's something you won't hear. But I think, if there is a mistake, it should be recognized. That's the only way you're gonna fix it. You gotta acknowledge if something's done. If something's done wrong, if something's either done right or wrong, I don't think there's really a gray area when it comes to the law. Because when you commit a crime, ain't no gray area. You go to jail. You go to jail, you're gonna be sitting at home. There's no gray area.
Absolutely.
So I don't feel like there's really a gray area when it comes to life and death. Mistakes can't be made. If a mistake was made, it should be acknowledged and. Okay, what's being done to correct it? And I think the lack of empathy makes people feel as though nothing is being done or nothing is going to get fixed or it can't be fixed. And so it can send people into a frenzy. It
really can. People just want to know that things are going to be okay. The easiest way to do that in law enforcement is to tell them that. Hey, we're going to work with it. Like, I may not mention this, but when there was shootings, Town Square had a homicide. We went to Town Square, set up tables, talked to the kids, handed out stuff, talked to the community. We may not have been able to ease tensions because the internal politics are deep. They're rooted.
Yeah, they go deep.
You're not changing that. But at least when
you almost have to be living there just to...
Exactly. To know who's doing what and when they're doing it. But for us to be there, that shows them that we have some empathy for that community. Same thing at Parkview. 13-year-old kid got killed. I spent the last 3 weeks out there in that community dealing with the knuckleheads, the ones who were not part of it, but contribute to that kind of stuff. And the neighbors were thankful. Hey man, we just appreciate you guys being out here. You're not just coming here for a call. You know what I mean?
I think these people they can see that you're human.
They think we're robots, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone watches that dude and they're like, "Oh, he's fake. He's just doing it for the cam." This is
real stuff, man. This is real stuff, man. And again, I appreciate you coming out, man. I appreciate you allowing me to come out here.
No doubt.
Hopefully we can go and get into some demonstrations right now. brought my own little thing,
Okay.
my own little tool. You know what I'm saying? So we can really get into it. Yeah,
Got the stick.
Like, I got the stick. You know what I'm saying? I got the tool on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't come out here naked. I didn't come out to Snake Creek naked. You feel me?
I feel you.
So you go ahead. I see you got the
so y'all
got the tactical joint, man.
Let me show my baby right here.
Let's show that for the camera. They're gonna see. You gonna see it anyway. Let's see how.
So this is my HRT plate carrier that I usually rock. I always make a joke for people that this is for my protection on the range, not yours. I keep with me because I'm not one to leave life to luck.
Yeah.
But it's the HRT tactical plate carrier. HRT is a great group of guys that actually sent me this for free as a demo, and I've been wearing it for years. It's a really good setup. Same thing with the Lancer mags. Lancer provided. One of the guys locally provided these for me through Lancer, and then I have my flashbang holders and my lights. We do a lot of low light stuff, so I have my light out here just in case for that. For dignitary protection stuff, obviously, if it goes in the private sector. When it is on the private sector, we utilize our radios, our comms, to speak with each other and communicate. That's pretty much it, man. But absolutely love it. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change this carrier for the world. And then I've got my belt. There's a Condor.
Yeah. So you got this.
This recently went to this new one. This is the 6 Hour Legion. So I call it the Excalibur of guns. Great gun. Obviously, newer guns nowadays are going to an RMR platform, meaning they have a red dot platform. So they're getting away from the sights and going more to the digital red dot, which is pretty cool. It's easier for the eye to pick up on that reticle. Easier if the front sight post has that True Glow suppressor sight on there. But like I said, just an absolute beast of a gun. One of my favorites, good competition gun as well. Unloaded, just to show for you, show clear, it's an unloaded gun. Flat trigger grip, panel I should say. Again, that's really good for follow-up shots. Give you guys some insight, some input, some context on why we do what we do, how we do it. And again, this may look like an extreme setup, but it's just something that I wear. My guys also wear it when we're on the range because it's what we're comfortable with. Most of my guys have a military or law enforcement background. So they typically rock their gear just like they're going to work. So understand that coming out here and training for us or training new people is still training for us, right? So we still get to get reps in so that we continually become proficient. That's why when I started out for one of the biggest things for me was I am current law enforcement. I want to keep building my skill set while I'm still teaching others, right? Which obviously we've been doing that for just shy of 5 years now. So. And I wouldn't change it for the world. First black-owned range and training company in Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
So we do everything from concealed carry. We do phase 1 and 2 unarmed security licensing. We do phase 4 armed security licensing. Women's only classes, pistol 101, rifle 101. Vehicle classes. We have a program called VAST, which is vehicles counter assault survival training.
Yeah, is that the one? I saw a demonstration on, I think it was Facebook. They had a car.
Oh.
Man, I seen that. Man, I say, boy, this is Call of Duty stuff right here.
Man, that's probably one of my favorite classes in the entire world. Most attacks occur when we're either going to or leaving our vehicle. So let's say we're exiting the car, going into Waffle House or going into Walmart. If a guy's scoping, he's out there watching everybody to see who the easier target is. And so either he's going to attack on approach while you're moving to the store, or when you're coming back to your vehicle. So again, situational awareness is something that we talk about in all of our classes because we have to be cognizant of the people around us, right? At first, it's like my favorite Pusheisty, right? He said, I treat everybody like ops, right? Yeah. You kind of have to, man, in today's world because you just don't know who the good people are and who aren't.
People go here and try to play with you.
They do. And so you have to be on your A game at all times. So we really enjoy teaching. Like I said, we have this location. Snake Creek is our home here in Beggs. We also teach at 2A in Tulsa. But this is where we do most of our tactical training and also our security officer licensing. So you guys got to stop by.